Alright, hello, and welcome to the next video in my cooking series. With this one, I decided to make carbonara. So it's a fairly easy recipe, at least ingredient-wise, and it was something that I've always really wanted to make. The main ingredients here, we're going to be using some black ground up pepper, garlic, I just got the pre-chopped ones, eggs, noodles, I got bucatani noodles, Parmesan Romano cheese combined, some peas because I like peas in my carbonara, and then we also got bacon because I decided to make bacon carbonara. Okay, cool. Then the next step is the eggs and cheese. So we are putting 3 eggs into a bowl, and then we are cracking a 4th egg, but only keeping the egg yolk, because the recipe calls for 3 eggs and 1 egg yolk. And then we are measuring out 4 ounces of our cheese, and then we're going to put all that together and create one nice mixture. Alright, then the next step is cutting up our bacon. And so first we're going to take it out of the package, and then we are going to put all of it on a surface cutting board of some sorts, and then we will be cutting half of the pound of bacon, and we will be using that half in the carbonara. And we kind of want to cut it up into a bit smaller pieces as well, so not leaving just strips. So to begin, I just cut down straight down the middle, and then eventually I start just cutting little pieces off of it into like bite-sized pieces. Alright, so now we're going to start our pot of water for our pasta and get that going to a boil. We're going to add some salt as well to salt in the noodles. And then we're going to start our bacon. So we're just going to take our bowl of bacon and plop it into I have a wok, so I use that, and I love using it, so I'd recommend it if you have one as well. And then you're just going to spread it out and spread it out evenly so every piece kind of gets its own, isn't on top of each other, and can all cook thoroughly through evenly. Alright, so then once we have finished kind of cooking our bacon up, we want to get rid of most of the grease. We want to keep some for the flavor, but we also want to get rid of a lot of it because we just don't need it. So we're going to pour some into a bowl just like that. And then we're going to start our noodles. So get them all out of the package and then just dump them all in. And then kind of work with your tool to kind of bend it all in there so that it all heats and cooks evenly. And then let it rest for however long the noodle package says. For this one it was like about 6-7 minutes. And then we're going to put some garlic in. So take about a half spoonful, maybe third spoonful, and then put that in. And then I dumped half a bag of peas. It's up to you how much you want to put in, but I thought half a bag was pretty good. And then just mix it all together and cook it until all the garlic and peas are unfrozen, and then the garlic, is meshed into everything. Alright, then once the noodles are all cooked and ready to go, we will just put them from the pasta bowl into our wok and on top of everything else. Then add a couple of 1/3 cups of the pasta water. I added just 1.5 at this recipe, but in other attempts I've actually added like 2 to 2.5, and I think it's a little bit more the better for this recipe for sure. Then you're going to add your egg mixture in on top of it all, and then give it a good old stir. And make sure you just keep stirring it around and around. And the biggest part is not to have it overcook, essentially. So make sure your heat is off and just keep stirring and stirring and stirring for maybe like 3 or 4 minutes until everything gets kind of good. And then after about 4, maybe 5 minutes of stirring everything, you should see that it looks more like soupy, and then that means you're done and you're good to go. You'll know you overcooked cooked it if you start seeing actual like little egg pieces form, which in this video at this time I actually did kind of mess up a little bit and overcooked the eggs a little bit, so it wasn't as saucy and it was a bit dry. But just to let you know for future